gentlemen, you're watching Star Soccer Review magazine cover, an upcoming magazine on Caribbean soccer history in Toronto. And while listening, short clips of Ian Jones, Junior Parker, and Vivian Manswell, highlighting the skills and brilliance of Tony Skerritt and his assets as a player.
He was a gifted athlete, because he was a very good half miler actually. He was a gifted athlete who was a good dribbler, and he shot the ball extremely well. And in the late 50s, because he left QRC in 57 and joined Dynamos, and he very quickly established himself as a player of national standard and caliber. Very committed to football more than anything else. That's the one thing that he was always very committed to football. Very humble, always a humble fellow, but very good dribbler, very good dribbler. And he was quick. I tell you, he's an excellent athlete, so he's very quick. So change the pace and that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're a goalkeeper and you get in close to the edge of the box, you start to get nervous. Very good at that. He's a spang that boy.
Skerro was good, man. Skerro was real good. I mean, when Skerro going to kick, we used to call him gunshot. The Jamaican guy called him gunshot. Gunshot. But Skerro could have hit it. There no question about it. You had to start the duck when Skerro kicked it. He hit it hard. But Skerro real power. But then injuries can get frustrated, you know. You know, sometimes you're trying to play your best, but injuries hold you back, and you had a bad knee and everything. And
yeah. So Skerro was big, man.
Yeah.
Skerro was big. It was in those days, used to have like hired guns, and he was like a hired gun. The first thing I recognized him playing when he played with Birasa. He played Birasa, probably Philbert Cummins. Yeah, Philbert. That team called, ask him about All Hawks. Yeah, that's a South Shore team. But he would have been about 14, 15 at the time. But by the time he was about 16, he was playing first division football. He was a one-man gang. He was like Gordon Cuss, you know. He used to play inside forward, but he could have played defense too. But he was a play inside forward. That's why I really know him as an inside forward. That's the days of the 4-2-4 football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Donnery V, the W, the 4-2-4 came after that. Yeah. This is the original football where the two wing backs used to play deep and the half backs used to play wide. The inside forward, they're going up and down the field, and the center forward down deep. He's a one-man gang, man. He had a lot of physical ability. Then he could have used both feet. Very, very physical. Like a horse.
But it was ended up in a limp up here.
Well, look, since he was home, he didn't go on trainer. So he had about 3 knee operations in Trinidad. So that's what took him down. But he played North South and everything, Paul Spain League. He played everything. Went to Guyana with a Trinidad team once. It wasn't a full Trinidad team, but a lot of Trinidad players. Skerro was big, man.
Yeah.
Skerro was big. I could picture him playing. When he played on Sunday mornings, he used to play in a khaki short pants alone. No shoes, no shirt. 3 hours,
Ooh.
He used to play for 3 hours right in front of Katie's Road there. I played against him, but not he was kind of out by then. He came out, he broke down early in football. With a knee problem. He was big, man. Skerro was big. We went in Skerro class.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we went in Skerro class. Skerro was way ahead of me. But then, of course, he was older. Skerro was big, man.
Yeah.
Skerro was big.
Skerro was always a class midfielder. During then, this was halfback. Yeah, but a very classy footballer. Following that, I remember seeing Skerro in Dynamo, playing with Dynamo. Top guy, he was a top guy.
What is Skerro's strong point?
He had a natural touch.
Right.
A wicked touch, boy. But he played for North and he played for Port of Spain League and all that kind of stuff. In school, a natural touch. And Skerro and them from Corey Street. Skerro was a good sprinter too, you know. A good sprinter. So Skerro and I only get together up here, you know. Nothing strange that. And he proved to be very valuable in terms of compromise. And an intelligent fellow. A very intelligent fellow. He passed seniors underage, you know. Like men used to be 18 and 19. He passed at 16.
Oh.
Now he was an intelligent fellow, well spoken, could write well and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, I remember the big words.
Oh yeah, and he's still so, you know.
I remember the big words. They alone used to be laughing.
He's still so. Yeah. Well, Skerro was a above normal kind of individual.
That's how it's striking me to be.
Yeah, above normal in almost all aspects of his game, and he was very a pleasant fella to approach. Yeah. Skerro is some bad talk people, you know. If he bad talking you, you see it in a certain way, and you realize that he bad talking somebody. Yeah. He was always that way. Always that way, and you would always like to go somewhere to talk to somebody with Skerro. Because he would carry the conversation in a proper manner. He was always so. As I said, I knew him up here. I knew him in QRC, but not as a friend. And the friendship grew when we came here. Well, he used to lamb on Nelson Street, you know. Skerro used to lamb on Nelson Street with Duggar and Kelvin Andrews.
And he's older than you, right?
Oh yeah. He and Buddy same age.
So how you guys got together here? I mean, that was good.
University playing on the Irish club. That's how he come here.
My name is Anthony George Skerritt.
I hear like you have a little sniffles. Or you making out with COVID?
Isolation.
There you go.
I had a stroke, you know. I had a stroke around Easter. I had a stroke around Easter. I was hospitalized for about 2 months.
Oh.
So I on a kind of restricted ambit. She was a recover. Still seemed to have the majority of my mental recall.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that. His blessings.
So there's that. But as long as I can remember, I'll be willing to respond to any questions you want to ask.
Yeah.
Well, at the point of insertion, I really was not a footballer. I was attending primary school that was a powerhouse in schoolboy football. That was Richmond Street EC, which was located at the corner of Richmond Street and Duke Street. And from Richmond Street EC, I won an exhibition. There were only 100 scholarships to secondary education from primary schools in Trinidad. Yeah, so this is back to what you might know as common entrance. Yeah, so when I say exhibition, I really talking about the common entrance exam back in the end of the 40s. Alright, so I was one of 6 guys who won exhibition from Richmond Street EC in the year 1950. At that time, Richmond Street EC was a powerhouse. So in 1950, I placed 14th in the island. That was the rank, you know. And I chose, as an exhibition winner, you got the chance to choose which post-primary educational institution you want to go to. And I chose QRC.
Oh, big college. Queen's Royal College.
Big college. Yes, the QRC, yes. I went to QRC. So I started QRC in 51. In those days, the school year was from January to December. So In January 51, I started at QRC. And my last year in QRC was 1957. I was there for 7 years.
Okay.
I spent 4 of those years going through the A forms in QRC. I was in 1A, 2A, 3A, 5A. In 5A, I was taking the senior Cambridge exam. So after 4 years, I was taking the senior Cambridge exam.
Whoa.
So in my 4th year in QRC, I also qualified for the first team.
Well, I was just going to ask you, seeing that you're in all the A forms, was there any extracurricular activities to blend in with the, all work, no play?
Yeah, no, but what happened to me is that coming from parents of modest beginnings, I was at this street. My full objective was to attempt to get a scholarship and get free secondary education.
Good.
So within an exhibition meant that I was getting 5 years tuition and books-free education. When I was in primary school, I was living on Chancery Road near Picton Street. That's Woodbrook. But the point about it was that even when I went, I never really started to live in Belmont until 1965.
Okay.
But the point about the two localities is that both of them were very near to the Queen's Park Savannah. So that when I started to play, I could get to the Queen's Park. So when I started to play for Full Citizen for QRC, I was still living in Woodbrook. That's 1954. But when I went to Belmont, I was even closer to the Savannah. All I had to do was run up the dry river onto the Avenue and by the Savannah already.
What part of Belmont?
Dark Lane.
Alright, close to the driver, weren't you?
Yeah, so I'm very close to it back. I ready. I ready hospital too.
Yeah.
You know, I started playing football when I was about 13 going to 14.
You were actually making the team, right?
No, I was down in Job Chambers and now showing me how to trap and move left, or fade left and move right, or fade right and move left. So what really make me interested in the game was the compliments that Job Chambers was giving me every time. He said, well, you have a natural body swerve because he wanted to do this and do that.
Well, if I could interject, I guess you did learn to shake left and go right very well.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. That was what he was remarking on it. So
yes.
that was the beginning. So then I started to play something called Colts football in Karachi. So I played for the B Colts team. And then I played for the A Colts team. Within 2 years I was captain of the Colts team that I was playing for. That would have been A Colts. That is 1953. So it was a strange mix there because I was coming to football from a rescue background. You know rescue?
Yes.
Even when I was in Richmond Street, I used to play rescue. So that was part of the background of how I get introduced to the game.
Mm-hmm.
True Job Chambers now doing formal coaching where he showed us how to play a thing and thing. So of course I took to the game so swiftly that I started to become adept at the dribbling thing. But that's what happened in 54, which should have been my 16th year. There were limited vacancies on the QRC first team. Actually, only 2 vacancies. I happened to get from the previous year. The players of the previous year were all returning to college, except in 2 positions. And I happened to get, of course, the the thing was that if you played for QRC full division, you automatically was playing in the Portersville League full division. The colleges played in the POSFL. St. Mary's, Fatima, and QRC all played in the POSFL, the Portersville Football League. You see, schools like Progressive, which Rasa attended, and Franco and those guys, they Progressive was playing in another league, NAFL.
Right. I think I gathered that from Franco when I spoke.
Franco, Carlton, all of them. Yes. Carlton, Niles, Virasa. But I call him Virasa name because what happened is that I had some family living near Park and Pembroke Street in Portersville.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to visit very regularly, and Virasa lived on Pembroke Street, just near the Park Street.
So Tony, what is that team that Mangi said that you would be talking about with Virasa and?
Team name is All Hawks.
Right.
Yeah, that was the team I was trying to describe to you. I think I was trying to get some stats. There was a teacher in Belmont called Linton Brown. And at one time he had a youth competition, under 14 competition for youths, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ken Guerra and Kelvin Virasa decided to put a team together.
Is that Ken Guerra related to Guy Guerra, the Guy Guerra, you know?
Yeah. Okay. It's another brother. He played in this under 14 competition, and we ended up with stats of we had 27 goals for, 1 against, with no defeats. 1957. At the end of 57. Remember at that time, the school year went from January to December.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped playing for QRC in 57.
And when did you migrate?
I migrated in 68. But what had happened was that so I played for QRC from the time I was 16 to when I was 19, when I leave. 4 years. What happened with that is that because I was a college boy playing for the college team, I ended up being what they call, there was a time they used to seed first class players, you know that?
Yes, I know young, you know.
And now I in my 83rd year.
Mm-hmm. You come to Toronto.
Yeah.
You came on your own, you came to...
Alvin is my brother-in-law, Alvin Thomas.
Right, yeah.
My brother-in-law. He was also the halfback who was playing behind me in Dynamos. When we were playing a formation called Don Revy. So I was the backward center forward and he was the attacking right half.
Okay.
So we were friends.
Okay.
I got married to his sister, Claudia. And then when Alvin migrated and he gets straight, he sponsored his sister and we moved Keaton Kaburu up here because Alvin's mother was still with us in the house on Elton Street. And all of us came. But that time Anton and Janelle were little kids.
Okay. So Anton and Janelle was born in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah.
Got involved in the soccer now?
Up here?
Yeah.
So I came up in November of 68. The summer of 69 is when I started to play for Niger Malta. I play half season with them because when the tour arrived, because remember coming in November, so I was on the slow. Like everybody, these people, when they start thinking about football, so I started playing with them, and then halfway into the season, I get introduced to the West Indian community up here. I realized that thing about team, West Indies have a team. It's like West Indies United.
Yeah.
So I wasn't happy playing with Nice Malta. So I played in the half line. They don't want me to kick the ball when they kick it in because he can do it. So they kind of have me in a shell. And then these are the other workhorse because I played in the half line. And I supply in these runners ball. I ain't getting no ball back. They talk this Portuguese or Maltese language or whatever. And I ain't getting no ball. So I wasn't really satisfied. But I was, I like the game, so I was kind of toughing it out until I realized that they have a team called West Indies. They used to practice down by the other grass just before the entrance of CNE there. West Indies used to practice, so I went down there evening by and I had myself a time. I said, go on, look at the country football I know. So I end up I get a transfer from Nice Malta to West Indies. Nice Malta and West Indies was in the same league, but they might have been in different divisions. I never really tried to find out. I wanted to play for West Indies, and that was the tipping point. Yeah. So I get a chance because Nice Malta used to pay me to play. But anyway, the other goalkeeper named Pele, I think. Yes. The other guy used to play center back. He used to come from Sudbury or something. So that fellow was very good. Like. And then the other Redskin boy used to play striker. Can't remember his name now, no? And he was with Dunkley and when Chubby come over, I was getting ready to leave. I was only playing this season. But at that time, the concept of Iere was in December. Well, see, when I came out, I started to go UFT. Mm-hmm. I was trying to go UFT in the day. I was working in the post office in the night. But the task was too heavy. But in that period, I get to line with Miles Sosa and Peter Martin and them guys. Jones was in Kingston. He was going to school in Kingston. Manny was going to school in London. So they were not in the city as such at that time. So they tried to get a Toronto aggregation going. So Clyde McNeil, who had pretensions of being a goalkeeper, he was part of that. No, I just say
don't try that. I know he didn't reach his full potential with you guys. I know that. I know because when I came up, he wasn't playing yet, and he already started to put on some weight. So
he had the right hands and all that.
Yeah. Your choice of words was right. Pretension.
What Sosa, Miles Sosa too, was good. University students, graduating students that year were like Peter Marslin, Miles Sosa. Who else was I can't remember the call. Everybody. But all of a sudden, this will talk raise up about Formula Trinidad and the big team. And as a matter of fact, there's a plaque. I was in one of later presentations. They presented me with a plaque for naming the team. Giving the teammates' name. It was a call to colours. Sosa, the big Tom Sosa, you could understand because he was actually embedded he was the man, he was one of the men that them Jamaican boys were looking up to. He was like that. Tom Sosa was like that. He was an old Chinese boy. He's from Trinidad, but at the time he come up, he didn't have no Trinidad team, so he turned out to be a kind of chief organizer in West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
So that was understood. Junior Parker, I still had the question marks about his
yeah, I know.
Loyalty to the West Indies. Because the thing is, Junior Parker and Dennis, they play with Niger Malta too, you know.
Yes.
They play with Niger Malta, so that when I see West Indies, I decided going West Indies. I tried to pull them, but they didn't come. They stay with Niger Malta. And when we formed I expected them to come to Iere, but they went with West Indies. West Indies also had a redskin Trinidadian boy named Alan, who was playing left back or something so on the team at one point. Even I tried to pull to Iere. I was shocked that the Junior didn't come. But what make it even harder for Junior to come was that his other brother was a kind of solo in West Indies too. He had another brother. Yeah, Pancho. But remember now, I only coach Iere for 1 year.
So how you get the coaching? How you got into the coaching?
I was in the organizing group, the formation group. So when I give them the name too, they kind of surrender in a form. It happened spontaneously. It was no canvassing and nothing like that. As the conversation started to develop, though, you have to remember that this is a formative year. So what happened is that we trying to recruit people to make this thing a possibility. Yeah. So but I come up with it. Well, Iere is the old current appellation for Trinidad. I say when you start playing in the 2 division or something, so you start beating teams in double figures. But among the neophytes in the team was this fellow from the East called Ken Martin. You saw that what happened in my first year with Iere is that Ken Martin reached a half a beat too late to be coach. But I'll put it that way because, the rivalry between me and Ken, it was more friendly than anything else. That's how comical things is. I get radicalized playing football because I had come from a context where the game was closer to the English tradition. You play a hard game and you shake people and after the final whistle and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Up here, that didn't seem to be the operative thing. For about 3 reasons. No, I'll tell you this for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
For about 3 reasons, because when we started to bash these teams that they come up against, the fellas didn't like it because they really thought that no aggregation, a young black, not young, but not necessarily young, but black people could defeat them in any contest, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So the handshake and the ritual pat on the back became a rarity, at least in my estimation.
Okay.
And such, that's how we used to do this. And I remember they put us in the 4th division when we first joined TND, which is really the dregs of the league. So we beaten team kind of 18-0.
I could understand no shake hand after that because that shake hand is almost like a laugh. So the man didn't really want that.
Well, all of that. I don't know about the promotion thing. I remember I was only there for 1 year. What happened is I went to do an operation on my knee. I did an operation on my, I did surgery on my knee. I was in St. Mike for a while and all that. And I was to go back and do some more surgery, but when I realized how close I had come to immobility, I say I ain't going back down. So that's what happened. I didn't. But Ken was on my shoulder all the time, so it was an easy battle to pass for him. And let's see. What I had some recrimination which I kept to myself about was that Junior Parker came afterwards and Savile coach, and they welcomed him with open arms, and he became coach of Iere too. I don't understand. I noticed a disenchantment with a kind of detachment that started to manifest itself with Anton and his association with the club, and then I realized that it was common to the group. At that point, I was never close enough to fathom it, because I still had the tentacles attached to Iere. I used to play. As a matter of fact, I got injured playing a game for Skerro after I played for Iere the match before in RH King. You know? So I played for Iere, had a good time, and then Skerro was short and and I hurt the left knee in that. So I was only attached sentimentally. I wasn't really involved in the interior workings of Iere. What happened with Iere, I think when Junior come back and start coaching Iere, that took me at arm's length with the club. I was on the outside before, but when they decided they're going to give Junior anything, and then remember that was a time when Beryl Company was playing for Iere too. You remember Beryl?
Yeah. I am very much aware, but this is a process where you want to hear from people like you because it's kind of authenticating the format.
Yeah, I don't know what happened somewhere between the pinnacle of achievement that was the Saturday summer tournament. That used to be a Lamport and all that, to the doldrums of non-repeated, they lose, and because if you remember, the regiment come up here on a tour. The regiment come up here on a tour. Teams from New York used to come, teams from Boston, Montreal, used to be in the tournament. They lose contact with the general body, and it's a lot of evil going on with them cats.
Yeah.
No longer in a circle of
So I can't really put you on the record too much on that, really. So I want to thank you for giving me your part of the history of the soccer/football here in Toronto.
Yeah.
And stay safe and stay healthy.